Hi, I'm Brian with CDL Testing Services and School. Today's lecture is going to be on putting the vehicle in motion and control systems. Entering and exiting the vehicle. Before entering the tractor or trailer, make sure that your hands are free of packages and objects. You should always be in 3 points of contact with the vehicle at all times while climbing up or down from the vehicle, regardless of location or exit. This means 1 foot, 2 hands, or 2 feet, 1 hand. Use the steering wheel if necessary. Never jump from the tractor. You are putting yourself at a high risk of injury if you jump. One of the number one injuries of truck drivers in the USA here is falling out, twisting an ankle, a knee, falling on slippery steps of your tractor. Seat and air suspension controls are next. The purpose of these is to adjust your seat to reduce fatigue and protect your back. It allows you to use ankle motion to activate the throttle rather than using leg pressure. Ankle motion gives you finer control and smoother throttle control. So your seat should be adjusted low enough that you're using your foot and your ankle and not your whole leg to move the throttle. Position the seat from front to rear facing the steering wheel. Do not place the seat at an angle. Now you can set the seat height first and then position the seat as close to the wheel as you need it. Sit in the seat and place your feet flat on the floor. Lower and raise the seat so that the rear portion of the leg, the thigh, is not under pressure from the edge of the seat. Lower the seat height again until the right heel is touching the floor and slightly supporting the leg. Move the seat forward and backwards until you can rest the bottom of your foot on the throttle pedal while the heel is touching the floor. Pull the lever to the left and adjust and move the lever back to the original position to lock the seat in place. Then check that your ankle motion, not leg pressure, will activate the throttle. Place your hands on the steering wheel in the 3 and 9 o'clock or at the 10 and 2 o'clock position. Check that you have good posture. Seat belts. They're next. They secure a person in the vehicle and reduce the chance of injury or the severity of an injury when there is a sudden stop or an accident. A point to remember that federal regulations require that seatbelts for drivers and passengers be worn at all times when the vehicle is moving. Another point to remember, tractors with a sleeper berth must have a restraining device for the occupant of the berth. It is recommended that restraints in the sleeper berth be worn when the vehicle is moving. We're going to talk about adjusting the mirrors now a little. Mirrors help you locate objects or judge distance or space. There are two types of mirrors, the flat mirror and the convex mirrors. Use both mirrors often to increase your vision capabilities and to create a safe driving zone for you to travel in. Flat mirror, this helps with judging gap and distance. You estimate the distance to or from an object when you judge distance. You estimate the distance between two objects when you judge a gap. Convex mirror. This helps you track a fixed reference point. It helps you keep a straight position or put your tractor trailer in a straight position. A fixed reference point is a non-moving object. You move the tractor trailer around this object and you must track it while you are moving. Straight stands for direct or straight line position of the tractor and the trailer as a unit. Steps to adjust the mirrors. Learn to adjust both left and right mirrors to get the best view possible of the sides and rear of your vehicle. Use the following steps to adjust your mirrors every time you get behind the wheel. Discuss any problems adjusting your mirrors with your mechanic. Clean your mirrors before and after you adjust them. Make sure you have adjusted your seat before you adjust your mirrors. While hooked up to a trailer, park in a straight, level ground on a straight line and adjust the driver's side mirrors. Make sure the mirror frame is straight out from the door. Never pull the frame in towards the door, as this will position the mirror too close to the tractor and narrow your field of view. While sitting in the driver's seat in your normal driving position, adjust the flat plane mirror in and out, up and down with the motor controls or with using both hands. Moving it with both hands will keep you to prevent from breaking the mirror. The inside edge of the flat mirror should show a view approximately of 3/4 to 1 inch of the trailer's side and the ground from approximately the driver's wheels to the rear of the trailer. Turn the parking lights on and make sure you can see the trailer's red clearance light in both flat mirrors. Adjust the driver's side convex mirror to show a view approximately half of the tractor's side, running boards and grounds behind the driver's door. In the right side of the mirror, in the right edge of this mirror, you should see the front end of the trailer. This will give you an overlap of view in both mirrors. Adjust the passenger side mirror the same way as you did the driver's side. Trailer side should be showing approximately 3/4 to 1 inch in the inside left edge of the flat mirror, and the tractor side will show slightly in the convex mirror. Adjust the hood spot mirror to the left, approximately on a 20-degree angle and slightly downward. The inside left edge should show a view of the right front fender, passenger door mirrors, and the ground next to the steer tire. This will help you see any vehicles, pedestrians, or obstacles close to the tractor on the passenger side. The hood mirror is used to see down the edge of the front fender and onto the ground by the front door. It is not used to see vehicles around the vehicle. After adjusting all the mirrors, sit in the driver's seat in your normal position and look at them again. Make sure all the mirrors are correctly placed for you. You need to turn more than just your eyes or head to see properly in your mirrors. Move your body forward, back, and from side to side to see as much as you can in the mirrors. The more and better you can see, the less likely you are to have an accident. So instead of just moving your eyes like this, make sure you're using your head. Turn your shoulders a little. Look in your mirror this way. Look in your mirror this way. It's a direct look if you turn your head. If you're only using your eyes, it's not a direct look. Okay, let's go over starting the engine a little. To start the engine, the first shift to learn is the startup shift. This shift gets the vehicle stopped, vehicle moving. More torque is needed to stop the vehicle. Lower gears of the transmission multiplied by the engine's torque, providing more power to the drive axle. To make a startup shift, make sure your tractor and trailer brakes are set, knobs pulled out. Disengage the clutch by pushing down on the clutch pedal 3 to 4 inches and move the shift lever into neutral. Engage the clutch by letting up on the clutch pedal. Turn the key to start the engine. Observe warning lights and gauges to make sure engine is operating properly. Lights in the engines should be the ABS light, and all the gauges will reset and come back on. Disengage the clutch. Select a gear in the low range that is opposite of reverse in the gear pattern and move the shift lever into that position. Okay, we're going to get to that a little bit later, the rest of that. We're going to go ahead and move on to control systems. Monitoring critical gauges. Control systems let you safely operate your commercial vehicle. Not all tractor trailers have identical control systems. For example, you may use a key or a switch to start the engine. It is important to know the system in your vehicle you drive and monitor them as you drive. Control systems let you shift the transmission gears up or down, signal your intent to turn or stop the vehicle, control the speed or steering of the tractor trailer, stop the commercial rig, adjust your seat to a comfortable position, increase traction in slick road conditions, read your engine RPM and road speed, see the see traffic to your side or behind the tractor trailer, know the condition of your battery, know the fuel level, monitor oil pressure, engine temperature, and air pressure to brakes. There's a lot of controls on that dashboard. That's a lot of items to be watching. Um, Constant awareness of what your control systems tell you are a way to prevent mechanical failures or malfunctions that can damage the tractor trailer or cause accidents. Engine controls, steering controls, clutch pedal controls, shift, transmission controls, accelerate, throttle controls, inner brake controls, service foot brake, trailer parking brake, and trailer air supply valve. Vision controls, lights and windshield wipers, and washer, and the heater and defroster. Instruments and gauges, engine oil pressure gauges, engine coolant temperature gauge, voltmeter, dash meter center, tach meter, speedometer, primary air tank pressure gauge, secondary air tank pressure gauge, fuel gauge, and application air pressure gauge. It's a lot of stuff to remember. So, now that we've boggled your mind on all those gauges and things to watch on your truck, the better you take care of your truck, the more miles it's going to make you, the more money you're going to make, the better you're going to do in this industry. So make sure that you're watching all these gauges, take care of your truck, doing your pre-trip daily. Let's go to some primary vehicle controls. Engine controls, start up or shut down an engine. Um, the engine controls may be different between vehicles because of engine fuel requirements or because of the choice made by the manufacturer. Um, be aware of the oil pressure as the engine starts. Shut the engine down if the oil pressure fails to rise within 30 seconds of starting the engine. Then check the oil level. If the oil level measures or reads at an acceptable level by starting the engine again. Watch the oil pressure to see if it rises. If the problem continues, do not drive the vehicle until a mechanic has checked out the problem. Steering controls. Steering controls maneuver the tractor trailer. Think ahead of time about what you will do when you use the steering wheel to maneuver the vehicle. See in your mind what the outcome will be. Adjusting steering controls may be different. Floor release or level activated steering wheel position adjusters could be in the tractor cab. These let you place the steering wheel in a position that is comfortable for you to use. All your trucks will have a steering wheel mover handle switch, and sometimes they're kind of hard to find. Hand position. Hands should be in control with the wheel at all times. When turning or shifting, use hand over hand steering. When you grasp the outside of the wheel, you're able to steer hand over hand. If the inside of the steering wheel is grasped, hand over hand steering cannot be used. When grasping the steering wheel, think of a clock face. Place your two hands on the outside of the steering wheel, either at 9 and 3 o'clock or at 10 and 2 o'clock. So make sure that we're steering correctly. Yeah. Accelerator and throttle control panel. Purpose of the pedal is to be used to increase the engine speed. It is located on the floorboard of the vehicle and is operated with the right foot. Throttle control. Control of the throttle means smooth operation of a diesel engine. You need foot and ankle control, which gives you control of your throttle. Proper seat adjustment helps position you. A driver must maintain control of the travel speed and be able to shift gears. This requires throttle control. Like we discussed earlier, if you have your seat adjusted properly, you will have correct throttle control using your foot and your ankle and not your whole leg. Let's go on to some brake controls. Brake controls slow and stop the tractor. Purpose use of brakes is one of the most important safety factors in driving. Known how Know how your brakes work in different road and weather conditions. There are three separate brake control systems on most commercial tractors. These are service brakes, tractor parking brakes, and the trailer air supply brake. Brakes on large trucks are not like car brakes, they are air activated. It takes time for the pressurized air to travel to the brake. Therefore, there is a slight delay between applying the brake and activation of the brake. Excuse me. Service brake or foot brake. This is the main braking system for the tractor. The foot brake is located on the floorboard of the tractor. This is just like the brake in your car on the floorboard. Push against the brake pedal with your foot and leg to use the brakes. The service brake activates the foundation brakes located on the axle. Trailer brake, trailer hand brake. Most of the trucks won't have a trailer hand brake, but some of them do. The trailer hand brake, also called the trolley valve, is part of a service brake system. This brake control is optional and is not on all tractors. When present, it is located on the right side of the steering column and works the trailer service brakes. Pull the hand valve to the rear towards you while sitting in the driver's seat. To activate the trailer service brakes, it supplies air to the trailer service brakes. Tractor parking brake. The tractor parking brakes are controlled by the diamond shaped yellow knob on the dash panel. The knob works the valve. The brake is used to activate the inner spring brakes when parking the tractor. It's a yellow octagon knob, and there should be a red one right next to it. There is an automatic safety activation of the tractor parking brake. If the air pressure falls, the knob automatically pops out and closes to activate the parking brakes. The emergency activation of the parking brake takes place before the pressure in the tanks falls below 20 psi. You might recognize this from your brake test. To manually work the tractor parking brake, to activate the brakes, pull out on the diamond shaped yellow valve knob. To release the brake, push the knob in towards the dash panel. Hold it until the knob stays put and the brakes release. You may have to hold it in a few seconds to keep the knob from slipping out. Check this if you have trouble moving the vehicle. So if your vehicle's stuck, sometimes it won't move, and you're sitting there pulling on that clutch, lifting it up. Reach over and push the valve in. Might be a slight problem. Not that it's ever happened to me. I think for about 10 minutes once. Trailer air supply valve. We have a student here. Do you have any questions, student?
No, I don't have any questions.
About the tractor valve? What color it is or anything?
Oh, it's yellow, correct?
Yeah, correct. There's your yellow one, and then what would the red one be?
Wouldn't that be the trailer?
Correct. All right. Thank you. Trailer air supply valve. This knob controls the tractor protection valve and is sometimes called by that name. It is the red octagon stop sign, what we just talked about. Shaped on the dash panel, it controls the trailer air supply and works the trailer parking emergency brakes. The valve activates the trailer spring brakes. So she was right. Our student was right here. The valve works two ways. It supplies air to the trailer brakes and works the emergency trailer brakes. When the knob is pushed in or charged, the air supply to the trailer brakes. Air is supplied to the trailer brakes. This allows the trailer emergency brakes to release. The air comes from a supply tank located underneath the trailer. When the tank is fully charged, the air pressure gauge will read 90 to 120 pounds per square inch, psi. If the knob is pulled out away from the dash, air supply to the trailer shuts off. This causes the trailer emergency brakes to set. If there is a loss of air in the trailer lines and the air pressure drops too low, the valve shuts off air to the trailer. The knob pops out, shutting off the air supply and activating the trailer emergency brakes. This automatically happens at 30 to 40 psi. Now let's talk about some, let's see, use caution, use tractor brakes and trailer emergency brakes together. Always use both brakes when you park. Your tractor trailer, one set of brakes will not hold a loaded tractor trailer in place. This is the number one cause of rollaway accidents. We've all seen those videos on YouTube where the guy's chasing the truck down and he's just running. Oh my heck. It's just, it's funny to watch, but then you think about how dangerous that just was. Very dangerous, and somebody could have got hurt. There's probably lots of property damage and things like that going on. So yeah, always use both brakes, never just one. That is a very bad habit to get into. Okay, let's talk about some secondary vehicle controls. Vision controls we're going to talk about. Vision controls help you see what's going on around you. They maximize your ability to see in different types of maneuvers, backing, turning, etc., and in different types of weather or road conditions. There are 4 categories of controls: lights, headlights, identification lights, brake lights, turn signals, and flashers, windshield wipers, and washer fluid, heater, and defroster. All these are on your pre-trip because they're secondary vehicle controls. That's why they're on there. You wouldn't know that the heater and defroster, well, you're like, why is that on the pre-trip? Well, because it cleans the windshield so you can see out of it safely. Instruments and gauges provide information so that you can safely and efficiently operate the vehicle. Proper knowledge and understanding of the information prolongs the life of your vehicle, lets you know which system or parts need to be checked, prevents accidents caused by faulty parts. So even the small things you think on a truck are very important. Vehicle instruments and gauges are measurement devices. Watch for changes in what your gauges normally read. For example, if your oil gauge normally reads 38 psi per square inch, when you travel on the highway and then suddenly it drops to 26 psi, you may have a problem. Know the normal operating ranges for your systems and gauges so you can see problems coming ahead of time. There's all sorts we'll just name a few of them: engine oil pressure, engine coolant temperature, voltmeter, dash meter, tachometer, speedometer, primary air tank and pressure gauge, secondary air tank and pressure gauge, fuel gauge, application air gauge. A lot of those are on your pre-trip. Windshield wiper controls, engine brake switches, interaxle differential lockouts, trailer air supply red, tractor air supply yellow. The purpose of each gauge and instrument. Engine oil pressure gauge. Let's start with that one. The gauge measures and records the pressure of the engine lubricant system. Observe oil pressure to see that it increases and stabilizes when starting the engine. A cold engine may have a higher oil pressure. Operating ranges may vary depending on manufacturers and individual engines. Engine coolant temperature gauges. The coolant temperature in an engine is measured and reported in Fahrenheit or Celsius. It does not measure the temperature of the coolant in the radiator. The engine should be in the normal operating range before working. The engine on uphill grade, accelerate hard, and etc. Normal operating points of an engine is 180 to 200 degrees. That you can know is on your test also. Generally, engine temperature should not exceed 210. Voltmeter. The reading indicates the voltage output of the battery. Your manual will tell you what the reading should be for your vehicle. Normally it reads 12.6 volts when not running, 13.5 to 14.5 volts when the engine is running. A high reading may boil away the battery fluid and shorten the life of your battery. So that's kind of important to remember. The primary air tank holds air for the systems. for the air systems. The gauge measures the air pressure in the tank in psi, pounds per square inch. The normal operating range is 90 to 120 psi. However, this may vary depending on the manufacturer's specifications. Points to remember about it: when the engine is started, a warning light will come on and a buzzer will sound until the air pressure in the tank reaches minimum pressure. You might recognize that from your pre trip. Low air warning signal. Speedometer measures speed, road speed in miles per hour. Tachometer measures and displays the engine speed in revolutions per minute. Application air pressure gauge. This gauge is optional and is not in every vehicle. It shows the amount of air pressure you're applying to the brake with the foot pedal. Windshield wiper controls and washers keep the windshield clear of dirt, slush, leaves, rain, snow, etc. So all these gauges, secondary gauges, they do pertain to our safety out there and the safety of the vehicle and people and vehicles and yourself, your load and everything. Engine brake switch. This is probably the most commonly used auxiliary brake control. Engine brakes are used in all commercial areas from construction to over the road hauling. They can be operated by a dashboard toggle switch or a foot switch. If a single dashboard switch is used, it will have three positions: high, low, and high, off, and low. Okay, a couple other things. Let's see. So we got red is our trailer air supply. Tractor parking brake is yellow. Kind of going over a couple things. And I think we're done. So that was putting your vehicle in motion, knowing your gauges, control systems, and things like that. Very important to know. It does hamper our safety if we're not paying attention to them. So I hope you have a good day and keep on trucking.